Okay, before we continue, we just have to fix one little error. Here, if you see, I didn't close my head tag and I didn't open the meta tag. So, oops, we have to have a head and closing head, and in between it's meta, which doesn't have a closing tag, okay? And now we want to push all the things, all these initial things, our initial setup to GitHub. So let's go and create a new repository. So give it a name. I'll call it range slider minus UI. It's a public repository. It will have a README file, and we will set up the MIT license again. And okay, we have git ignore here, so I don't have to use a template. And yeah, that's it. So I can create it. And now I will open another tab in my terminal, and I will go one level up in my composing web components folder where I have the range slider in. And then I will clone the code from the repository, from the GitHub repository, by running git clone. If now I type ls, I have two folders, range slider and range slider UI. So now what we need to do is we have to move the code over from our range slider, our local range slider, into this new repository that has only license and README. So we have to add all of the code that we created in our range slider, and then we can delete the range slider. So let's do this. So here I have the, let's see, in Wizard Amigos, let me just check again. Is it Wizard Amigos workshops? Here, I open the range slider and I select all the files and folders using Control A. And then I copy everything. So copy, and I go back into range slider UI, which has only README and license, and then I paste all of the files and folders in this. So now, technically, inside of range slider UI, see the range slider minus UI. So inside of range slider UI, if I run npm start, yes, I get all the stuff that we developed in our range slider. So now I can basically delete the folder that you started with, so the range slider itself, because it's not connected to GitHub. So, and now we copied over everything, so we can just delete it. So that's it. I can close this. And now let's just check what are our changes. So git status. So these are all the things that we developed inside of this repository or copied over. So we can npm run build, git add everything. Now we can check the status again. Okay, so all the changes were added, and now we can just commit them. Git commit -m initial commit. Now let's see. So currently it's still just license and README, but after we run git push, we will be able to see our files and folders here. So one last thing is to go to Pages and set our main branch to show the GitHub page so that we have a preview for our InSlider. And once the page is set, we can go and copy the link and add it here. It's already showing what the link will be. So let's just see if the page is already set up. It takes a bit. So we selected correctly, and this is still in process. So it should very soon be ready. So let's refresh. And now we have it. So we just copy and save it here. So that every time we or somebody else visits our repository, they can just click and see the preview, which will be, of course, updated with the latest version of the slider.